there were basically two attacks. One on this looks like university in Kryvyi. The other one was on a drone depot, looks like. Let's actually find out more in details. Play the video here.
Russia targets and destroys Ukraine's National Aviation University in Kryvyi Rih. On the map here, you see the location of where that university is located at. The United States has been providing technical assistance in drone development programs in Ukraine.
Okay, there is another attack happened. Now, this university, they do, what I understand, they do research and development on how to improve Ukraine's military technology. Russia found out about this and they targeted that particular site. According to Ukraine, it was a civilian or residential area that Russia targeted, and they are saying Russia must be held accountable. Now, during these attacks on Ukraine, one NATO pilot was killed and a fighter jet was shot down, NATO fighter jet. That's a big thing. Now, what really happened is they have reported 4 dead, 14 injured in Russian strike on residential area, Kryvyi Rih, Dnipro region. And this is a $1.5 billion secret U.S. investment in Ukraine's drone production. Record pace of EU gas purchases from Russia. Despite hopes of reducing reliance, Europe continues to buy Russian gas, fueling the Kremlin's war effort. These are some of the latest developments I wanted to share with you. Now, Russia is currently also bombing the military weapon depot in Kiev. So first was on this university or residential area in the province of Dnipro, Kryvyi Rih. The second strike took place in a military weapon depot in Kiev. And now what they're saying, what got blew up was the Large Design Bureau. They produced the Neptune cruise missiles that Ukraine uses to strike targets inside Russia. So all of those billions of dollars that US sends to Ukraine are up in smoke. Russia is looks like becoming much more efficient in terms of military intelligence gathering and all that. Obviously, with the situation, with all the experience they're going through, war against Ukraine, they're becoming more efficient. They're more aware of Ukrainian military position and how, especially, they're getting help from the Western governments and the US. Russia, why they are becoming so powerful, it is because of this. Obviously, these attacks on Ukraine would not come from a weak Russia. So Russia establishes the world's largest active military force, overtaking China. Vladimir Putin has just signed a presidential decree increasing the number of active service personnel in the Russian army to 2.4 million. That's a whopping 2.4 million. A lot of, in other words, Russian citizens, they have taken up arms against Ukraine, against NATO. NATO also confirmed, this is his name is Mark Rutte, he confirmed that Russia produces in 3 months what NATO produces in a year. Russia's missile production, Russia's drone production, everything is multiplied and multifold than what Ukraine and NATO have done. Let's take a listen.
The 2% we are now is absolutely not enough. When you look what Russia is producing now in 3 months, it's what the whole of NATO is producing from Los Angeles up to Ankara in a full year. And then Russia is not bigger than the Netherlands and Belgium combined as an economy. The two of you together is the Russian economy.
Okay, so again, he admitted that Russian production of weapon is much faster than U.S., NATO, and Ukraine's production. And this is why perhaps Ukraine is asking help from U.S. more. I will talk about that in a second. Now, this was also confirmed that Russia is gaining momentum with the military personnel on the ground and also their forces. They are getting ever more prepared to defend their country. So in proportion to external threats, the strength of the Russian armed forces will be increased to 1.5 million, I think, military personnel, Shogyu. And this actually was reported back in December of 23. Now they are talking about 2.4 million military personnel. So in 23, 1 year ago, they wanted 1.5 million, but that number has doubled almost. Russia has assembled 180,000 troops to make decisive strikes on Kiev region. This is from last year, December. They have issued new uniforms and are providing hot meals and showers to their forces. This generally indicates a force is headed for war in a big way, coming from Douglas McGregor, the military analyst from United States, telling us what is happening. 180,000 troops to make decisive strikes, and they are getting everything they need. All the gears, equipments, uniforms, meals. Russian economy is doing pretty good. That's the big problem for the United States. Some bad news for the Ukrainian regime, Volodymyr Zelensky. Number one is that Trump may not be as friendly as Biden was. MAGA supporters, US MAGA supporters, Make America Great Again supporters, they're now accusing Ukraine for the LA fire. So somebody criticized MAGA traitors, calling them traitors. This is a common theme with Russia's collaborators in their attempt to eliminate or diminish aid to Ukraine. People in the States, they are getting absolutely fed up with this. All of this helps billions of dollars to Ukraine. And now they're realizing that, when we have a fire going on in LA, we do not have the help that we should. But all of this money, they're going to Ukraine and Israel. MAGA supporters, they're now becoming absolutely outraged by this kind of policy US has. Now, Volodymyr Zelensky, he doesn't want just the missiles from US or money. He now wants US to actually have a production, defense warhead weapon production in Ukraine. This is what he said. Take a listen what he's talking about.
And we've had talks with the US about licensing the production of air defense systems and missiles here in Ukraine, and this could become a significant part of our security guarantees.
Okay, so I don't think you can hear very clearly. The audio is not great. I apologize for that. So basically what he's saying here, Zelensky, is that he had talks with the United States to have U.S. production hub for missiles in Ukraine. I think you can read from here. Making American air defense warheads in Ukraine absolutely doable, according to Ukrainian press or president. Key Ramstein meeting members adopt 2027 roadmaps to streamline Western aid flowing into Ukraine. If they have a U.S. production hub for missiles, do you know how much it will cost for the United States? I don't know, but it will be billions of dollars. Can you imagine if they do go ahead with this kind of production hub in Ukraine for the missiles, and they come under attack by Russia, how much loss they will have? So MAGA traders, as they call traders, they're becoming ever more outraged, and if they know this, they will definitely come out on the street and protest if Trump, he approves this kind of U.S. missile production hub in Ukraine. I don't believe Trump will ever do that, but if they do, that will be such a disaster for the economy of the United States. Obviously, United States, they always try to find a boogeyman, just like they have found North Korea in Russia, saying that Russia is getting help from North Korea. This time they are accusing China that you guys are helping Russia. This is why we cannot defeat them. In other words, when we lose war, it is not because of our incapabilities. It is because of you cheating on us. playing games with us and doing some dishonest thing against us. Take a listen what this Chinese ambassador at the United Nations has to say and how they responded to this kind of accusation that China is helping Russia.
China's exports directly fuel Russia's war against Ukraine and its attacks against civilian infrastructure. This support makes China the decisive enabler of Russia's war.
在此前的会议上，我已经多次回应过美方的谬论。今天我可以说得更直白一些。第一，如果中国真的向俄罗斯提供军事补给，那战场的局势早就不是今天这个样子。第二，如果真的中国向俄罗斯提供了政治掩护，我们就不会在公开场合反复强调。
And he is 100% right. If China helped Russia against Ukraine, you can imagine what Ukraine will go through. Literally hell, because Chinese weapons, Chinese help would not be like the help of North Korea to Russia. If North Korea is involved, we do not know anything about that. Russia is not saying or admitting that North Korea is helping them militarily. But if China does help Russia against Ukraine, it will be the complete destruction of not just Ukraine but also NATO.